gentlemen, and welcome to a very special interview with Ninjestics of the revamped Mindfreak, is what I'm going to call them, because Mindfreak has been around, I'd say, semi-frequently within the Australia-New Zealand competitive Halo scene, and they're back with a new roster, this time with some players who have been playing together for, I'd say, quite some time, especially within Halo Infinite. Ninjestics, how are you doing on this, for you, Sunday morning, but for me, Saturday evening?
Yeah, good after a double shot coffee, Josh. It's great to be here, have a chat.
Hell yeah. For those who don't know about Ninjestics, real quick, he's, again, a player for Mindfreak. He qualified for the Australia-New Zealand regional pool play, and him specifically has gotten all top 4 finishes except the super ever since joining that BBR roster. And we'll hint at that a little bit later on. But the first question I have for you, Ninjestics, is you have been teaming with the likes of Benji since basically the end of January last year, along with Dino and Junior, not including Halo 5, since the end of June of this year. As we've seen not only in Halo Infinite, but countless other esports titles, team chemistry is paramount in helping to get better placings in events. So how does your team chemistry alongside Benji, Dino, and Junior help separate this revitalized Mindfreak roster from the rest of the Australia-New Zealand competition?
Yeah, look, like you said, chemistry is probably the utmost important thing in getting team results, because at the end of the day, Halo is a team game. You need all 4 players on the same page. Junior, me and Junior have teamed in Halo 5 for about a year, I think, straight. And he really got me up to speed with how to play Halo. So there's some natural chemistry there between me and Benji, who had played for months and months, and then Junior just adding months and months onto that as well. And having Dino there, he kind of just slotted in. He came from a team where he felt like he wasn't really being valued and, was underperforming together. And I think, having the confidence in your teammates just, ramps up that team chemistry. And ever since then, it's just everything's gelled.
Hell yeah. That's really good to hear, because we know what the Chiefs, we know what Divine Mind is capable of, and it's exciting to see. It's something we talk about on the show all the time, is that we love more competition at the top level, because if we have more competition at the top level, these top teams are being challenged more and more, and teams like a Mindfreak, teams in the North American region who are up and coming like a G1 can actually start to make a push to be in those top spots. So ever since joining up with Benji and the rest of that BBR roster, like I hinted at before, outside of your Australia-New Zealand Super, you've yet to place outside of the top 4 in any Australia-New Zealand tournament leading up to the regional in Melbourne. So what have you and the squad learned that you'll be taking into the regional, and what is it going to take to beat the likes of a Divine Mind, of a Chiefs, in order to lock in that single pool play spot in the Orlando Major?
Honestly, I think the one thing, if I could take away from all these placements and consistently being in the top 3, top 4, is that you just have to keep your composure. If you get in those situations countless times in those semi-finals, in those grand finals, and you just can't edge it out, you eventually you learn these almost mental mechanics to kind of just fall back on what you've been practicing on for the whole time leading up to that stage. I think our team is at a point where all we need to do is just on the day focus on what we've been talking about, what we've been practicing, and not throw it out the window last minute. Yeah, pretty much. And I honestly, the Divine Mind, Chiefs, and anyone in that top 6, they don't do anything special. It's just about who's the better team on the day. And I think that, with all the emphasis we've been putting on this teamwork, we just need to bring our A game and don't lose our pivs.
So just remain composed.
That's pretty much
what you gotta do. Awesome.
Yeah, pretty much.
So the next few questions that I have for you are just in general about Halo and the HCS in general here. So first up, I mentioned this before we started recording, but I talked to Scoopmeister earlier today, and I asked him about this question as well. And it sounds like everybody's on the same page, but I wanted to ask you as well because of this. What are your thoughts on the entire GA, the gentleman's agreement situation that has taken over the North American competitive Halo scene by storm?
Look, honestly, when I first heard it, and I told my team, we were all sitting there with our hands rubbing together, like, yes, this is perfect for us. Like, I think it's really good for the game because it takes out, sword, which takes, you can sit in a corner and you can be guaranteed 2 kills, and you pretty much unofficially have an overshield because you literally can't melee trade. Trying to break setups on that was just ridiculous. On a recharged strongholds or a ball, if someone had a sword, it was just crazy.
It's fucking
and
impossible.
the drop, yeah, it's ridiculous, man. You have to 3 men the one area. But also the whole drop weapon thing. I think it incentivizes people to hit those shots a bit more rather than getting a bit lazy and just dropping like, oh, I can't use that one. I'll just throw it away. But yeah, I think it's gonna do wonders for the game. You can already feel the engagement's already played differently. Yeah, I don't know what it is, but it just feels like a more balanced. Feels like more balanced fights, a more balanced experience, I guess. Yeah, we're all for it.
Awesome. Well, that's good to hear because he like I said, he explained the same thing, that everybody, all the top teams in the region are for it. And I was always interested in that because, we hear so much about what happens on this side, right? And
yeah,
it's these players that feel like that they're the ones that are governing all of this. And I always thought to myself, well, what about the European region? What about the Mexican region? What about the Australia, New Zealand region? How are these teams going to adopt these methods, especially teams that are invited to Orlando? And that there was a whole debate, and I'm guaranteed you're seeing it online as well, about, well, what if somebody breaks this, right? What if somebody decides not to do this? What are people going to think of that player, that team, so on and so forth? And it's good to hear that you guys are for this. It's good to hear that you are all for it. You like it, and I just hope it leads to more competitive gameplay as a result.
100%, man.
Hell yeah. So, being within the Australia New Zealand region, we hear in the States, hear constantly about abnormally high ping in your region, dramatically increased queue times to try to find a ranked game, and other matchmaking woes in general. So, if you have any constructive feedback for the 343 development team, what would that feedback be?
Honestly, the one thing that I think will solve this whole high ping that Australians get to NA servers is just give the game a server select. They've done it in MCC. I don't know why it's been so hard to just put that functionality into their flagship game. That way we can search on our servers and you guys can search on your servers, and then there's no people complaining back and forth about who's geo-filtering or whatever. I think that's why the one thing. And then, another one is just get more people into your game because there's not many people that play from Australia. And when they do, it's all customs now. We have a ranked 8s, they call it ranked 8s, where you have you get ELO for when you win or whatever. And everyone just sits there instead of playing matchmaking because they can't find games, or when they do, it's 140 plus ping. Yeah,
and that's miserable.
Oh, it's terrible. It's funny when we still beat some 4 stacks in matchmaking, but it's it shouldn't happen. But
no,
we'd rather not play on upwards of 140 ping at all.
Makes sense. It definitely makes sense that you'd want to play at a more optimal connection, for sure. Yeah. All right, and then how would you transitioning from the 343 development team? How would you like to see the HCS better represent your region?
I think HCS probably not for all my region, but for everyone in the community is just to listen to the players' feedback and at least acknowledge it, and then show us that you're making changes. It's for the longest time, everyone's been harping on about the sword and the spiky grenades, which is another controversial one.
Yeah.
That the amount of ammo in the bulldog, the amount of grenades you get off spawn, like people have been talking about this for ages, but like it just seems like it's falling on deaf ears. And I think that by responding to the community and making the changes that the competitive community wants to see, it'll foster a bigger community. I feel like more people come in to the community, and that way the community can build that way rather than having to forcefully make players play the way that HCS want them to play.
So it really just comes down to communication again, which is something that we've heard countless and countless times before, and even in, I mean, hell, like Halo 5, there was, I mean, it was like talking to a wall, is what it really felt like.
Yeah. 2 years of assault rifles, like what?
Yeah.
Yeah. That's another conversation.
Yeah, that's
we'll rush that off.
It was just all fucked, you know. That and then Reach with the before No Bloom No Sprint was introduced, like that was fucked too. It's just it's great. All right, and then the final set of questions here I have for you, Ninjestics, are just some personal ones and some rapid fire ones, if you don't mind. So
go for it.
Awesome. First and foremost, you've been playing Halo since you're around 5 years old. So, but what got you into the competitive aspect of the franchise, and what made you want to put into work to compete at a high level?
Look, it's actually funny. I joined this. I was searching online as a little 13-year-old playing Halo 4, and I wanted some people to play with.
Sure.
So I went and searched up like Halo clans, and I joined this clan. It was like this super nerdy clan that had like these army ranks for like people that had stayed in there for like ages. And they did like these 4v4s.
Oh, you didn't do like BTB raids or some shit?
Oh no, we didn't do that.
Okay.
No. They there wasn't enough people in the clan, mate. Bro, it was like we had there was 2 teams. So when I joined, there was for 2 teams.
Okay.
And there was like they had this A team, right, where they had like all the players that had been there for ages, been playing Halo since like Halo CE.
Mm-hmm.
And they were really cool. And then they put me on like this B team because I was like 13. But at the time, I sounded like I was probably like 18, 19. Like my voice has always been like kind of deep.
Okay.
So, and I was like, it was like an 18 plus clan or something. Like I was not supposed to be there, but I somehow stuck in. And then, yeah, we started like scrimming against each other. And then I was doing all right. And one of the guys, his name was Dead. His gamer tag was Dead HCS or something. He was in the competitive scene at the time. He's like, "Yo, you should like come and try this out," and got me into 8s and whatnot back in Halo 4. And ever since then, like it was just I was always trying to talk to people and like see how I could be better. I didn't like that feeling of feeling like I was a detriment to the team. And being a super competitive person, like I want to win, right? So just always like seeking out that feedback and just always like just nagging people like, hey, like what can I do to be better? Hey, like in this situation, blah, blah, blah. And ever since then, like it was just a continuous process of talking to new people and just, you know, putting hours and hours like on end. Like I think we used to have a 25 gigabyte monthly data plan. And I would run through it in 2 days on a weekend.
Holy shit!
Yeah, just playing like 8 hours a day, and then I'd torture myself and play like I think it was like 0.5 and 0.2 like download and upload, and just lag around, but still play, just still get in there and just see like you know, just play the game because it was
because it
was so fun. Just loved it. It's so fun.
That's incredible. And when you said like you said that clan group was like for 18 plus, and you were wondering why you thought you shouldn't be in there. Well, you were one of the 8 people that played in the region, so they had to.
Yeah, literally.
No, that's fantastic. I always love hearing about how players get into the scene because I mean, you have your veteran players who have been here since the Halo 2, Halo 3 days that still are kicking, and then you have the young guns that are coming in for the first time, right? And it's great hearing that because as in a quote unquote old head myself who's been following this for a very long time, it is refreshing to hear that while the state of Infinite is far from where we want it to be. That's obvious. It's far from great. It is awesome to hear and heartwarming to hear that there are so many players that are coming in and want to get in on the ground floor of this game, and you coming in during the Halo 4 times. And I mean, if we're being honest, Halo 4 was the first real dark times of competitive Halo, and it's just, yeah, it's awesome to hear. So I'm glad to have you within the scene. And then, are you still working on that IT degree?
Yes, I am. I'm due to finish next year.
Congratulations. Well, early congratulations.
Early. No, thank you, man. Yeah, no, it's been a long process, kind of, dropping courses to play Halo and then just like extend it out. Yeah, no, I'm so keen to just get over and done with, eh?
I as somebody who just recently finished his, I went back and I finally finished mine. It is a great weight off your shoulders. So I'm wishing you the best of luck. 1 year left. Count down the days. And it's gonna be awesome when you finally don't have to deal with it anymore.
Oh no, I bet. Congratulations to you, man. That sounds awesome.
Thank you. And my degree was also in IT, so I thought that was really funny. Yeah. Okay. So I asked Scoob this question, and he gave me a bullshit answer, and I'm calling him out right now. He told me, this is gonna preface the question. He told me Vegemite and fucking Tim Tams. Okay, so if that gives you any indication of what this question's going to go like, I already knew those answers were going to come. Everybody gives me the same answers when they talk about favorite foods in your region. Okay, I get it. But I want to know, what is a food that you love in your region that's underrated, that people wouldn't necessarily think about?
That's underrated, that people wouldn't think about. Fuck.
Sorry to put you on the spot.
Nah, that's a hard one. Is it something that you guys wouldn't know?
I mean, I guess it really doesn't matter. It's just like every region has their own cultural foods, right? And yes, we don't have Tim Tams here. Yes, we don't have Vegemite here.
Yeah.
But is there any like comfort food that you enjoy that we wouldn't necessarily, I don't know if we wouldn't necessarily get, or just something that you enjoy that some people wouldn't think about?
Oh, honestly, I think I'd probably am the same as a lot of people. Like, before a comp, I love just to smash a couple of donuts, like, just to get that sugar rush. But again, like, you guys all know that, like, I don't sit there at like before a tournament with like Vegemite on toast and fucking eating Tim Tams like with a glass of milk as well. Like, that's just the most like Australian shit. Like, no, I'm not here for that. Like, I will sit there. I'll eat a big fucking thing of Pringles. I'll sit there and smash some like donuts. Like, and you guys all know that stuff. Like, I'm not there eating kangaroo burgers before or anything like that, man. Like, it's not.
And for the record, I'm not trying to sound stereotypical, because I'm really trying not to. Because like when he told me fucking Tim Tams and Vegemite, I'm like, dude, everyone fucking says Tim Tams and Vegemite. I bet Tim Tams taste them. Actually, I think I've had a Tim Tam once. But like he also said that Vegemite, just a very little goes a long way. And like you're not lathering shit on like we would in the States.
Yeah, no. I mean, unless you want a salt overload on your mouth, it's not. No.
That's our fast food. Our fast food has salt overload. We're good.
Actually, one thing you guys wouldn't know is shapes. I don't know if you guys have them over there, but it's like this. It's like a savory biscuit, but it has like a range of different flavors. You know, like pizza, barbecue. I think one of the flavors is actually savory. They got like crimpies as well. Like a box of those is like, again, it goes a long way. You eat them by the box.
There's the answer. There's the answer I'm looking for. Something that we wouldn't necessarily think of that you enjoy in your region. And now the only question is, I wonder if we have a different name for that over here.
I don't think you guys do. From the Walmarts I've been to and whatever, I don't think I've seen shapes, man. I don't think I've seen shapes.
Oh, the fucking most American thing ever, a fucking Walmart.
But they're everywhere.
Thank you for that. All right, and then last couple questions I have for you. What is your favorite Halo game of all time?
Favorite of all time. That's a hard question. Nothing after 4. I'd say probably Halo 2.
Okay. That's classic
Halo
answer.
2 classic, yeah.
Yeah, that's a classic answer. See, I was hoping you were going to say 4, but
no. No, I think I'd be crucified.
No. Okay. People need to actually fuck it. I'll just ask this first because I bet I know what the answer is going to be. What's your least favorite Halo game of all time?
Probably Halo 4, I'd have to say. Yeah. Halo 4, 100%. It's just the least Halo-like game.
Yeah, no, that's a perfect. See, that's the thing. Okay, I talked to Scoop about this exact same thing because he had the same answer, and it's just I get it. I understand. I respect it that it's not a good Halo game, but and I said this to him too. There's a quote that I heard that it sticks with me to my core, and I think it's the funniest, most perfect thing in the world. Where Halo 4 is the best Call of Duty that 343 has ever made. Right?
Yeah, that is true.
And from a casual perspective, I think that multiplayer is fun as shit.
Yeah, from a casual perspective, I actually agree. The like the whole ordnance system was pretty cool. Being able to call down from the sky your own guns and stuff.
Yeah,
like,
you could have loadouts.
As a kid, that was awesome. But like, if you think about it from like a Halo lens, then yeah, it was just like, no. Like, what are you doing?
Oh yeah. Oh, it's yeah. You go back and play that game. Like that game. Yes, it was very dark days during the competitive times, and there was a very, very brief stint where they tried to make competitive Halo 4 work, but obviously it just didn't. It just doesn't work. So
yeah,
but that's
okay. Terrible.
Yes. Well, Ninjestics, thank you so much for taking the time to chat with me as we look forward to the Australia-New Zealand Regional at DreamHack Melbourne. But before we let you go, I just got one last question for you. What are you up to, and where can people find you?
Just gonna be smashing out some Halo Infinite for the next couple of days before DreamHack. Got to put the reps in, You probably find me over at twitch.tv/Ninjestics with 2 S's. Probably start streaming again leading up to the tournament. So yeah, you can catch me there if you want to hang out, have a good time. And yeah, that's pretty much what I'll be doing up until DreamHack.
Awesome. Well, Ninjestics, thanks again for taking the time. Thank you
Josh.
Absolutely. Don't fucking thank me. You're the one that took the time. It's the time zone difference that really fucked with me. Like that was like, how are we gonna do this? But I think it worked out pretty well. And also, if you guys want to represent Mindfreak as well, they have a limited edition t-shirt that you can purchase over on their website, as a matter of fact. And might I say, it looks mighty fine. And also, if I'm not mistaken, if I read the information correctly, if you buy one of those t-shirts and you're going to be at DreamHack Melbourne for the event, there's a bar I think they can go to, and they can meet you guys and talk to you guys and hang out with you guys.
Yeah. So if you jump over to the website, you'll be able to find it on Mindfreak's Twitter. You go and buy a shirt. They'll give you a delivery option, and there should be one where you can go and collect it. And that's where you actually go to the bar where us and a couple of the Mindfreak guys will be hanging out, having a beer. And yeah, you just come around, have a chat, and just have a good time.
And that sounds wonderful to me. So if you're in the area, buy a shirt because merch is awesome, and support these guys. And go get yourself a beer with them. And Ninjestics, good luck at the event. Good luck in the future of competitive Halo Infinite. And hope to talk to you again soon.
Thanks, man. It was great, Josh.